Yo, do you have a fear of flying? Like, when you think about getting on the airplane, are you literally like shaking, like nervous and just so afraid to get on the plane, to be up in the sky at a certain altitude, elevation? Do you have a fear of heights? Um, if you do, this video is for you because I know where you are. I know how you feeling. I can totally relate. Um, and I am actually in the process of continuing to face my fear every time that I travel the world. I am a passionate world traveler, but I have not always been that. As a matter of fact, it was only about 7 years ago or so that I decided to finally get my passport, so that I could, take advantage of opportunities to travel the world. And before that, I was only traveling inside of, the country in the United States when I had to, you know what I mean? And I would take some trips, later, to New York and things like that. But I was never a passionate flyer, and if I'm being honest, I'm still not necessarily passionate about flying, right? Like, I'm not the type of person to run to the plane. Oh, I can't wait to get on the plane today. I'm not. That's not the case. But I will let you know this. Since I have faced my fear of flying, man, life has been just so amazing in so many ways. So many benefits to getting on a plane, flying to a different location, a new destination, and exploring the world, man, exploring new cultures, different foods, and different business structures, and different activities, and different things of the environment that are unique to the locations that you travel to, So, but in order to get to these places, you guys, I mean, unless we're going to get on the boat and sail for a long time to the places across the world, you have to fly. You got to get on a plane. And if you are nervous or have a fear of flying, you got to find ways to address that, right? Because it may not ever go away, if we're being honest. Like, my fear of flying has not ever gone away, but I've learned how to manage it, right? I've learned how to face it. I've learned how to deal with it. I've learned how to call it out for what it is. It is a fear of flying. It is a fear of heights that also turned into a handicap, man. It turned into a form of imprisonment and bondage, because I started to realize that it was keeping me from opportunities. And so I want to say to you, man, don't let your fear and your nervousness keep you from opportunities, and not just business opportunities, right? Because at first, that's how it started out for me, right? Business opportunities. But I mean, like, just enrichment opportunities, right? Opportunities for you to see and do and be something different, in a different environment, in a different location, which just opens up your mind to so much beauty that you never would have known existed had you not faced the fear, addressed it, and went in spite of. So a few things that I have done to face my fear of flying. Well, first of all, I am a person of faith. I am a person of strong faith at that, and it's not just because, I want to be clear on this now. I believe that there is a difference between faith and religion. You know what I mean? Like, yes, I was born and raised in church all my life. Yes, I do come from a very religious family and a very religious background. Yes, I was born and raised in the Bible Belt in Memphis, Tennessee, which, if you know about the southern region of the United States, there is a string of states that make up what we call the Bible Belt, because it's very heavily rooted in Southern Christianity and things like that. So while all those factors are true to my life, I want to say that they do not dictate who I am, and they do not control my faith and my spirituality. So when I say I am a person of faith, I mean an internal and vertical relationship to who God is to me, right? And to how I communicate with God, and how I believe and exercise my faith with God and my personal relationship. that is the most important thing in my life. Because if I don't have that, I have nothing, right? That relationship, knowing that God exists and the Spirit of God is with me always, is the only thing that gives me comfort in any and everything. So I want to start there. I want to start there. There are several things that you can do to address your fear of flying and your nervousness, right? But if I'm being honest and talking about my truth, I will tell you that my faith in God is the thing that I have depended upon to calm my mind, to calm my nervousness when it's time to get on the plane, and while I'm on the plane until I touch down on the ground with wherever I'm, whatever location I'm going to, and just really trusting and knowing that according to what I believe now, if I believe I am a child of God, right? If I believe that God is with me no matter what, then that means, truthfully, you could be on the ground, you could be in a car, you could be in a bus, on a train, you could be at home in the comfort of your house, and something, unfortunately could happen that was unsafe or that could bring bodily, physical harm, but we can't control. Those are variables that we absolutely cannot control, right? So why live your life in fear every day? Like, oh, I don't want to stand here. I don't want to lay here. I don't want to drive here. I don't want to walk here. Why let that fear of the things that we can't control us, And so when you look at it that way, it's like, well, yeah, that's true. Something could happen, regardless. So if I won't let that fear control me on the ground, why would I let it control me in the sky? And the way that I don't let that fear and those thoughts take over me is by leaning into my faith, man, and trusting that God got me right here as I sit in the living room with the piano behind me, trusting and believing that he's protecting me, that nothing's going to fly through the window and hit me. You know what I mean? As I walk the streets of Los Angeles, California, where I reside right now, or anywhere where I am, I trust that I do it with the trust and the faith that God got me. He's protecting me. And so when it's time to get on this plane and fly at a high altitude, I do it knowing that, God got me, that he's with me, nothing's going to change with that. And so that's the first thing, man. Lean into your faith. For me, it's my relationship and my connection to God. Like I said, not necessarily religion, but just my spirituality and my vertical belief in the being, and wherever it is that's where I am, and we are together at all times. So spiritual exercise helps me, praying, meditating, just, speaking positive affirmations over my life and over my day. Those things help me. So that's first, your faith or whatever you choose to believe. I want to say that, like, lean all the way into that if you're facing a fear of anything, but fear of flying for sure. Now let's talk about some more physical things, some more technical things, right? Okay, there's a long list. You can Google some things of suggestions and recommendations for what people may use to help them deal with their nervousness of getting on a plane and flying. For me, I think being physically comfortable is as possible is important. Now, when I say that, I don't mean like purchasing the most expensive ticket on the plane and going all the way up to the first class or business class for thousands of dollars and stretching out and laying out physically comfortable. No, I mean, even in economy class, right? So let's just talk about the cheapest tickets on the plane. Even if you sit at the back of the plane, which I've done several times and don't mind ever doing, sure, if you balling, if you got it like that, go ahead, man, get that first class and get up there and stretch out and be physically, have room and all that. But I'm just saying, for the majority of us, you know what I mean, where they may not be the case, I want y'all to know, like, it's all good. Like, the plane is going to get there. We're all going to land. We're all going to the location together. So let's say if you are in the back of the plane on the last row or whatever, the way to be physically comfortable, first of all, you want to wear comfortable clothes. It's probably not the best time to get on there in the tightest outfit, right? And when I say comfortable clothes, I don't mean like you don't have to wear pajamas and stuff, Because I know a lot of people choose to be stylish when you're flying or when you're out and about, and that's fine too. I'm not here to judge either way. If you do wear pajamas, that's your business. But when I say comfortable, I just mean loose clothes, right? Clothes that are not, you have to undo and have so many buckles and this and the other. Something loose, something comfortable, something free flowing, maybe where you can still look nice and presentable, maybe if that's your thing, and be comfortable at the same time. Okay. So first thing is just making sure your what you have on is comfortable and free flowing. Also, when you're flying, and this can be any time of the year, because when you're on the plane, they control the temperature of the plane. So this can be in the winter, summer, spring, or fall. When you're on the plane, they control the temperature. For me, because I get cold, right? They will blast that AC, y'all. Like I said, regardless of when it is, they will blast the AC. I like to do layers, okay? So I like to have my t-shirt. I like to have a long sleeve shirt. I like to have a sweater, a jacket, and if it's freezing, I would have my coat. Now, for some people, that may be overkill, right? Some of us need ventilation and air and things like that. You may not need that much. You may just need 2 layers, your shirt and a jacket. That may do for you. For me, I need multiple layers just in case they are blasting the AC and those vents are coming right down on me. Okay. Sometimes you're not able to close the vent or control the airflow. So highly recommend that you layer up or just have layers easily accessible to you. Okay. Just so you're not freezing cold. You could put on your extra jacket, your coat over your head or whatever if you need to. And then also, you can also take these layers off all the way down to your t-shirt if it gets too hot. Major key. Okay. So comfortable clothes, layers. A travel pillow is always clutch. Have your travel pillow. You can lay it, have it wrapped around your neck so it can control when you doze off and things like that. Also, the little head cushion that is on the plane, those are helpful. I'll try to have your little hand wipes and things like that to sanitize every area that you touch. But though between the little head cushion that comes out to control how much your head will lean and your neck pillow, those things give support to your neck and how your head will lay or lean, just so you don't get a crook in your neck, things like that. So a neck support of some sort is very good. Some people will say, always get a window seat, always get a window seat. Well, sure, if you can get a window seat and have something to lean against, that's cool. But I want to say that may not always be the case, right? You might have to book that last minute flight, or the window seats, they starting to charge like crazy. These airlines are starting to penny, nickel, and dime for every little thing. That may not be, what you want. Or perhaps you don't want a window seat. Perhaps you don't mind you want to sit on the aisle. You want to have easy access to get up and sit down, go to the restroom. So some people will say get a window seat so you can lean against something and have that support. If that's your thing, sure, get a window seat. But I want to tell you, there are hacks. Even if you're in the middle seat or the aisle seat, I've flown in every position on the plane. And I have had an opportunity to sit at the front of the plane too, through a gift, from a flight attendant. We'll talk about that on another video. But what I want to say, if you're sitting in the middle seat, right? Let's talk about the middle seat, which is the most, least popular place for somebody to choose to sit, right? Most times if we sit in the middle seat, it's not because you selected it, unless it was free or something. Maybe you selected for your budget, or that was all that was left on the plane, or you were flying with someone and you guys are partners and the middle seat is yours. Let's talk about that middle seat, man. Hey, some comfort can happen there as well. Follow the first steps I said, comfortable clothes, layers, and neck support, right? Those things right there knock out, nervousness and comfort on the plane automatically. But if you're in that middle seat, what you really want to do, just get comfortable, put your seatbelt on, get comfortable, and take advantage of, for me, my personal experience. I'm just telling you what has worked for me in the middle seat. The seat can still recline. All the seats should be able to recline. So if you need a little stretch back for your back, go ahead and recline and enjoy that. Just get comfortable in that area. You got your neck support, recline. However, there's a hack that I don't hear nobody talking about. I'm going to tell you, and just try it out. Just try it out. It may sound weird, but just try it. The table tray where you would have your snacks and things out in front of you, right? Extend that tray out in front of you and put your layers on there. Say you have your backpack or something, or you have your jacket, or you have your coat or whatever. Put your layers on it and just lean forward like this on the tray. And when I tell you guys, that's an actual comfortable position for me. And I'm kind of tall now, but I've leaned forward for a couple of hours at a time and have been knocked out in that middle seat with the tray pulled out with some things stacked on it, and I could just lean forward as if like kind of like you're sitting at a desk. It works for me, man. Again, it may sound, a little weird, but try it. And you'll be like, oh, wow, this is actually kind of comfortable. I got some good sleep or whatever. I was able to relax in that position, even in the middle seat. So, yeah, just a little hack I like to try. Okay, so, yeah. Now, we've talked about, just having your mental, your mind, your spiritual, what you believe, your affirmations, right, to keep you calm, getting on the plane. We've talked about having the right, clothing, not so much as the style or the fashion of it, but the comfort of it, and even still not having to wear, pajamas and things like that, but just you can still be decent or whatever you consider decent, and comfortable, just loose, free flowing clothes. And we've talked about neck support, right? Taking advantage of the cushion on the seat, right? Sanitize everything when you're touching it. The cushion on the seat, the head cushion, as well as your neck pillow. And then I just gave a good hack. Like if you're sitting on the window, sure, use that support for the window to lean. But if you're in the middle seat, take advantage of the recliner as well as the tray in front of you. Just stack some things there. Same thing with the aisle seat. Take advantage of the tray in front of you and your recliner or whatever. And then let's see. Next, let's talk about, I wouldn't focus too much on positioning of the plane, whether you're at the back, in the middle, by the exit row, first class, because I think that gives a false narrative for people who are dealing with a fear of flying, right? I'm not going to tell you if you sit here, you'll be less afraid. Yeah, no. So it's really not necessarily about the position and where you sit on the plane. It's all mental. It's all mental, because if we have a fear of getting on a plane and being up in the sky, that's not going to change where we sit. So we want to just try to address the mental aspect and the emotional aspect, and then talk about the things that can help make us comfortable, right? Have you some headphones, right? Listen to some comforting music. Don't listen to any music that's going to turn you up and have you in a rage, right? Some comforting music. For some people that may be classical, gospel, jazz, I don't know, your favorite cool R&B, it's probably not the time to turn up and have your nerves on edge. We could talk about the impact of music and how the sound waves really influence our being, our emotional state, our mood, And so if we're talking about trying to stay calm and deal with nervousness when flying, that will go over into the type of music that we're listening to and whatever we're watching on the screen. So let's talk about that. Watch movies or shows or whatever, if that option is available on your plane. Watch things that make you feel good. Don't watch things that will have you on edge and angry and nervous and fearful. If we're already facing a fear, watch something that will bring you laughter, right? Make you have some beautiful reflections, maybe some educational, So these are things that people may not think about, that all play a part in helping your nervous system, right? And helping you if you have a fear of flying. Address all of these areas. I'm just telling you what has worked for me, because you're looking at somebody who flies very often as a travel group leader, right? Shout out Agape Vibes Travel Group. We'll talk about that, your opportunity to travel the world with my travel company, my group, my family. We have an amazing time. We'll get back to that. But yeah, man, just I'm giving you the things that have worked for me. Okay. Let's see. Music, what you watch, your positioning, no matter what seat, what to wear, neck support, mental, spiritual. Man, we've covered so much. Very briefly, I'm going to get into maybe some things on the health tip as far as what we're putting in our bodies, okay? What we're drinking, what we're eating. Not so much of the medical aspect, because everybody's body is different, and I don't want to give any kind of medical advice, as I am not a doctor. But I'm going to talk to the natural aspect based off my experience and based off experiences of my family and friends and fellow travelers, okay? So what I can tell you, you guys, I do understand for a lot of people that alcohol is an escape. It helps to calm your nerves, it helps to zone you out or chill you out. I'm not so sure that that is the best recommendation when flying. I only say that because it can affect other things. You know what I mean? And I'm not here to judge anybody. If you're already a frequent flyer and alcohol is good for you, I'm not talking to you. I'm only talking to my friends who are nervous about flying, who are trying to deal with the fear of flying and finding the best recommendations to do that. I would not recommend alcohol, you guys. You want to stay hydrated. Drink water, maybe some juice, maybe a drink or a ginger ale or something that the flight attendant will offer you. Me personally, I would stay away from alcohol before flying. And if I just have to have it, I will look forward to that drink when I land, wherever I'm going. Okay, that's just a recommendation. No alcohol, based off my experience. You don't need it. You don't need it, man. I know that we have other ways, to kind of zone out and chill. If those other things are important to you, if you need them, do what you feel is best before flying, you know what I mean? But also be considerate that you're getting on a plane, you guys. You're getting on a plane with other passengers, and everybody may not be, some people may be sensitive to smoke. If y'all feel where I'm coming from, some people may be sensitive to smoke, and that's dealing with cigarettes, Black and Miles, cigars, weed, marijuana, whatever. Some people may be extremely sensitive to that. So I like to do what we call practice just being considerate of our neighbors, especially when we're in close proximity to each other. Okay, you're going to be sitting right next to people, whether you know them personally or whether they're total strangers. Let's just try to be considerate, So I do understand, maybe some of those things I just named, even vaping. I don't know some of those things have a heavy smell or not, but just be mindful. If you are doing anything that does have a heavy scent or heavy smell, just be mindful and be considerate of your neighbors. You know what I mean? So that's what I want to say about those substances. You know what I mean? Just be careful and be mindful. I personally don't think alcohol is helpful before or while flying. And if you are smoking or anything like that to help with your nerves, just, be mindful of the smell. If it's something that you can avoid before flying, because of course you can't have none of it on the plane, try to do that. I do know that there are other things that people are able to do. I would say consult with your doctor. I don't want to start naming stuff, but there's other, tablets or things like that you could, consume to help you kind of calm down, to kind of get some sleep, a variety of things. I don't necessarily want to get into that, but what I will tell you, if you're interested in those things, just Google it. Google, things that can assist with your nervousness, do your own research, but also talk to a medical professional. Tell them the truth. I have a fear of flying. I'm trying to deal with my nervousness, and see what they would recommend in conjunction with the natural things that we've already discussed. Okay. I would say do not heavily depend on any substance or any pill or any gummy to deal with your fear or your nervousness. But I want to let you know that those things are available to assist you as well. Okay. So basically, you guys, I just wanted to share some tips and some advice on how to deal with your nervousness and your fear of flying. I want to tell you that it does not have to be a crutch, right? It does not have to be imprisonment, right? You do not have to be in bondage to your nervousness and your fear of flying. This is so important because how are we going to get out there and explore God's beautiful creation if we do not get on the plane to go to these places, y'all? And that leads me to my next and final point. Listen, I am the proud founder of the Agape Vibes Travel Group, you guys. We have the most amazing time traveling the world together. Our most recent trip that we just completed was South Africa in November of 2025. I'm making this video. Today is January the 8th, I believe. I think it's the 8th, 2026. And so that was a really cool end of the year hang for those of us that went over there. We took 26 people. Shout out to everybody who joined us for that adventure. We had an amazing time. I'm going to have to make a different video to really break down the South Africa trip. But you guys, we did it all. We did a traditional African dinner. They fed us 14 different dishes. They did African drumming ceremony. We got a chance to be a part of that. We were dressed up looking so royal and regal in our beautiful African attire. We walked all around the Cape Town area, the garden grounds, so beautiful. Where they grow all this fresh herbs and spices. The rosemary was just potent, like just, oh my God, we wanted to take it all back home with us. We've been all over the VA waterfront, beautiful property over there. Cape Town is a beautiful city. Unfortunately, we were not able to do one of the main attraction, which was get on the sky ride going up to Table Mountain, because it was so windy at the time that we went and it just wasn't safe, so they closed it down. But our hotel had the most amazing views of the city as well as Table Mountain. And Cape Town, you guys, if you Google it, Cape Town, South Africa is one of the most beautiful cities in the world. Actually, last time I checked, it won. It ranked as the most beautiful, number one most beautiful city in the world. So that was an experience. And then we flew from Cape Town to Johannesburg, and we took a bus from Johannesburg into a more private area, wooded area or open area, so that we can do our game drives or the safari rides. And man, I can't even get into all that, but what an experience. So like I said, I have to make another video about that, but I just want y'all to know, man, we are on the move, and I'm inviting you to join us. We have some really cool opportunities lined up this year. We're going to New York in March. We're going to Dubai in April. We're going to Bali in May. We're going to Japan, literally my favorite place on earth. You know, I'm sorry, I got to say it. It's my favorite place on earth as of now. It's the only place I've been to like multiple times. This year when we go, it'll be my 6th time going to Japan. And so I'm excited to take the group out there again. So that's going to be in June. And then we're going to end the year with an awesome celebration roundup trip in Egypt, you guys. That's right. We're going to Egypt. We're going to see the pyramids. We're going to Luxor, Cairo, Aswan. We're going to do a cruise along the Nile River. Man, it's going to be amazing. Also, you know, they just opened a brand new museum there, right? It's called the Gym. Hey, they saying this is the largest area. The building, the facility is so massive, and it houses the most African artifacts on earth. I'm excited because we've been to some museums in different places that we traveled to, and we've seen some things, but to have the largest collection and it's actually in the land, you know what I mean? Like, that's going to be so cool. So, hey, first of all, let's face our fear of flying, y'all. Let's get those passports. Oh my God, I can't talk about that enough. Do not let too much time go by. If you do not have your passport, get it ASAP. Even if you don't have a trip booked, right? You don't have a trip lined up, get your passport. Just have it on deck. So many things are changing drastically with rules and regulations, and you do not want to be caught up in a situation where they change the process or the procedure, or they change the price and you're not able to get it. So get your passport, just have it, okay? It lasts for 10 years. It's good to just have it in your possession. If you have one and it has expired, get it renewed ASAP. Get it and just have it. Just be ready to go, guys. You're invited to go with me in the Agape Vibes Travel Group. I handle all logistics. You don't have to worry about anything. Flight, hotels, activities, none of that. You know, meals, we cover everything. We do all inclusive deals so that you could just, you know, get ready to come with us and have a good time, you know. So I'll put the information in the link of this video. I look forward to hearing from you, meeting some of you guys, seeing you in the friendly skies. Hopefully I've shared some really cool insight and some tips on how to deal with your fear of flying, right? How to deal with your nervousness. Because I have a heart for you to face it, you know, to face it, to address it, to manage it, and to get on that plane and get to the destinations that await you. So many beautiful places are waiting for you. You just need a little push. So hopefully I've given you a little bit of that today. I've inspired you. I appreciate you guys hanging out, listening. I've made a vow to myself. I made a video some months ago. Kind of, my YouTube talking video debut some months ago, and I'm making a vow now to be here once a week. We'll talk about a different topic. It could just be something like this, just giving some advice on a topic. Could be a podcast, interviewing a friend, or could be more educational thing as God has blessed me to get into other work, as a coach, as a mentor, as a world traveler, a global entrepreneur. So it's going to be a variety of things. But what I will tell you is that I will be here every week, once a week. I'm saying it on this video to hold myself accountable, and also to let you know, man, I'll be here, and so hopefully you guys vibe with the energy, you guys vibe with the flow. I say some things to inspire you, to touch you, to have you thinking, and let you know that it's all good. And what I mean by that is life is all good. So y'all be encouraged, no matter where you are in the world, no matter what's going on in your life right now. Be encouraged, man. Keep your faith up, keep your hope up. Just stay in the light. Stay in the light. So my name is Irene Austin. It's been a joy. It's been great talking to you today, man. I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.